Hello everyone and welcome to another live on my channel. So tonight we've got Kerry on, AD's on and Mayu's on. So tonight we're going to talk about how to start an allotment or garden and everything in between. I'm sure the chat will diverse a bit, but yeah. So how are you, Kerry?
I'm
How
good.
are you feeling now? You haven't got an allotment. Evil.
Yeah, I'm feeling very much in a transitionary period, and it feels like the next couple of months are going to be super busy. But I'm up for it. I'm ready. I'm excited.
You'll be all right. AD, how are you? You all
Oh,
okay?
I'm fine. Yeah. I've just muted. Yeah.
You'll get back into it. You will.
I will do. Yeah.
Hey, did you enjoy Malvern? I feel like I didn't
I
have a
did
chance
do,
to
yeah.
speak to you enough, though. That's the thing. It was so busy that I just felt like I should have chatted to you a bit more than I did.
Yeah, there's so many people there. I just didn't know who to talk to in the end. I had a good chat with Steve.
Oh God, you
and
chose
Jane.
the worst. You chose the worst two people to chat to. No wonder you disappeared. So it's nice. I am Mayu. How are you? Nice to see you.
How are things? Are you good?
I'm all right. Have you missed us, Mayu?
I have all the abuse, absolutely.
No, there's gonna be none tonight. There's gonna be none at all.
You're actually very quiet so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to behave. Tonight. I better say hello to some of the chat actually because it's going a bit crazy. Hi Robin, hi Michelle, hi Wendy. I'm sorry if I miss anyone out. Hi Claire. Hi Jamie, nice to see you on. Hi Michelle. Hi Max. Max, I just got your message, but we'll sort a different date out. Don't worry. Hi Debs. Who else is on? Hi John King. Hi, Allotment of the Dead. Hi, I've just looked at some of your messages, actually. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy day. Hi, A Day in the Leaf. Nice to see you on. Ashley, Colin, Jersey. Oh, Dave's on. Dave's always on. He's a reliable viewer now. Andrew Earl. Dora. Hi, Dora. Thanks for turning up. Dora, every week, Dora texts me saying, damn it, I missed it again. And I think she just does it on purpose. Really. No, she just always, she forgets it. She's like, I'll watch the catch up now. But nice to see you on, Dora. Hi, Mal. Nice to see you on, Mal. Still waiting for you to come on to the lives, Mal. Hi, Jim. Nice to see you on. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Anne. Hi, Addy. No, you, Addy. AD.
Michelle.
Who's Michelle?
Gardening with Addy.
Yeah.
Who's Michelle?
Why isn't it gardening with Michelle?
Addy's the dog, but it's Addy.
Oh, one of them, is there? They'll never cotton on that, won't they? They'll never cotton on.
I've made that mistake.
Yeah. What was your last one called? There's something Boosh, wasn't there?
Oh, Life's a Booch, yeah. Kombucha. I do like it when I get emails from people trying to tell me how to grow my YouTube channel, and they say, "Hi, Dory, would you like to grow your channel?"
I get emails sometimes off like companies, and they say, "Hi, Grapevine Garden, we love your channel." I'm thinking, I haven't been called the Grapevine Garden for about 2 years now, but they obviously love my channel enough to know that I've changed it. But yeah, and they always try and sell you, want you to promote things like baby toys. And I had I'm going to go off topic now. I had one the other day, and it was like a telescope. I was thinking, how is this anything to do with my channel? Kerry, you'd find a way, wouldn't you? I think you'd find a way to use that on your channel. You and Dory on the plot.
What's the thing?
Looking at the stars, a telescope.
Oh, I would quite like a telescope.
There you go. I'll send it on. Hi, Mel. Nice to see you on. Hi. I think I've seen a few others. Hi, Nick. Nice to see you on. Border plot. If I miss you all, I'm really, really sorry. Hi, Kerry on the Dog in the Plot. Nice to see you. Is your mum watching tonight, Kerry?
No, she's not. She's at the theatre.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. The theatre. What's she gone to watch? Hi, Christine.
Oh gosh, I do know. I've forgotten. But yeah, no, none of the family are watching tonight.
Oh, that's why the views are down. That's what it is.
Yeah, they've given up supporting me. I got a message from my dad earlier today that said, "Oh, I'm so sorry that you're giving up your allotment plot." And I was like, "Well, watch my video." He's like, "I watched the first half."
Yeah, we all do that. We all do that. I'll watch the rest tomorrow.
It was only 22 minutes, that
I
one.
know. I was like, I thought, I can fit this one in. And do you know what? The worst thing is, so I've started using yours a bit like a podcast now. So I put yours on, I'm at the plot and I'm sowing and all, because I think, this is a good hour, this is. So, I can dig the garden over in that. Hi, Jefferson Wildflower, to see you on. Anyway, let's get back to it. Nice to see you on, Mayu. I feel like we haven't had you on for ages. It's been a while, isn't it?
It has. But actually, I was surprised when I was going through my emails and things. I was like, geez, have I been on that many times? Ooh.
You haven't?
But no, it's been a break. Yeah, it's not easy. I have the boys out of the house because it's the soccer evening. I'm the soccer mum. It's my thing with my son to go to soccer trainings and soccer matches with him. So yeah, it just happens. His training is every Thursday evening at 7. So
so who took him to? Who's there now then?
My hobby.
So you don't ever go?
No, that's what I mean. I always go, and that's why their lives, they just clash. The timing always clashes. Yeah.
That's all right. We don't want you on that often anyway, mate. Don't worry. I wouldn't be able to cope. No, I'm only joking. Mayu, I watched your latest video. It's just come out, isn't it?
Oh, it did. Yeah, at lunchtime today.
Yeah. It's looking nice.
Yeah.
Again, we're like worried that I'm going to say, no, it looks really nice. I was a bit, God, you taking all the clematis down. I was right. I wrote it down because I thought, that's something I would like, something that's prolific. But that really did.
No, it's a big grower. Yeah, it's a really good, nice, strong grower, and it has the best flowers on a new growth. Even though that's a clematis you don't ever prune back, it still just keeps flowering the most prolifically on the new tips. So you sort of want to nearly every couple of years want to prune it back a bit just so that you'll get more blooms around your eye level or whatever you want to train them to.
Have you seen Mayu's video yet, Kerry?
I have, yes.
What do you think about the onions planting?
There's no onion.
Those onion sets, Mayu.
Oh yes, there was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me about onion sets?
Just, I'm curious.
Oh, you were testing me.
Yeah, I'm just testing if you've seen it. Really.
I've watched. I've commented.
I don't think I watched it. I haven't commented yet because I've rushed onto you. Oh God, it's going to be one of those ones tonight, and I can tell. Kerry, I actually went back as well and watched your first ever episode again. I feel like
you watch that every week.
It reminds me. It's when I start really liking it, I think I've got to go back to this. I've got to go back. But I feel like there was one before that, was there?
No, I've not.
That was the first video.
How long?
No, that was the first video, even though you said it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why? Did you watch it and think I wasn't so entitled this time?
Yeah. I thought, she's all right. She is on, yeah. If I freeze, I do apologise. There is a few glitches on my end. And the picture thing are frozen again. So I am really sorry. Thank you so much from Plot to Plate. That's really kind of you. Am I freezing or anything? Because on my end, it's saying that there's an issue with my restream. I hope not. But if I do, AD, you're in the seat. You can host the show for the rest of the year. No. I'm sure Kerry will. Anyway, she's
Oh, bring Jane in. Jane can do it.
Oh God, we're not that desperate, Kerry. Right. I don't know whether or not to just quickly pop out and pop back in because I can't access the pictures again. This is happening now. This has happened once before. What do I do? What should I do, Mayu? Should I leave? Should I just go? Kerry, well, Mayu, tell us about your plans for next year, and then I'll pop back at while you're telling everyone.
I have 0 plans. That was a very short story.
You got nothing planned for next year.
But do you know what I will tell you? Actually, I'll give you a little dig. I took down that clematis in August. That was a clip from my August video.
Well, I didn't notice that. I think Mark Dacey is Mark Dacey. Is that your brother-in-law?
Yes. Mark is on. So I have got some family support tonight. Mark is on, and my sister and nephew are watching as well. Separately, it seems. They might be in different rooms.
Hi, Kerry's sister. Hi, Mark. She talks about you all the time, Mark. Honestly, it's like an obsession. I've noticed this. Why do you always sit, Kerry? Where are you going to sit now you've got this new plot?
Well, there are plans.
Okay. Don't tell them the plans yet while I pop off, because I actually genuinely want to listen to them.
Oh, I wasn't going to tell you, but...
Oh, no, because you want to keep it for a video, do you?
Yeah.
Right. If you can...
Steve Dickwell. Oh my God, that's so good.
What's he saying now?
Where are you looking? I can't even see.
No, I haven't. Right, I'm going to have to pop off a second and I'll come back. So, discuss gardening.
Oh, Mayu then. The pergola.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So you've got a new top and you're going to put...
I have. Well, we're still waiting for the sheeting. So I have a couple of battens still to fit onto it. And then there'll be, the polycarbonate sheeting will go on top of it. So it's actually, the clematis will have to be dug out. Like it will have to be removed to some other location. Yeah. Because it will not, there's no way of me holding back its growth. Do you know the way it would just it's so big and vigorous. It's like a mini tree. So it would be wasting the place where it's in.
Are you going to keep the trellis and grow something else up the side? Then?
Yeah, exactly. Something just that isn't as vigorous as the Montana clematis would be. Do you know, something that you perhaps annually prune back. Maybe like group 3 or whatever.
A rose, because you're...
Yeah, exactly. I was saying that as well. Yeah, that in case it would be a climbing rose, even though I used to have the Shropshire Lad climber on that trellis before I moved it onto the post, because it was just getting a little bit hidden behind the clematis. So yeah, no, I wouldn't mind that at all. But the trellis is not coming down. And the main thing now would be just to protect the post a bit. But it's just overall, it's a nice space. And do you know, when you do this kind of big change where like we took down obviously the foliage of it, and all the light comes through, it is a massive change first, and then you get used to it and you're like really appreciate it. So yeah, no, that would be good. But it was just... It was a little bit tricky just to get it right, and between the timbers and things, So no.
So the polycarbonate is up now.
The polycarbonate is not on yet because it hasn't arrived yet. I'd say I'll be onto that company now shortly.
Hey, where you get it from?
It's actually the same crowd that we got the greenhouse from. So it's KSB Gardening.
Yeah. Oh.
Mm-hmm. They just sell the sheets on their own as well. So,
my worry about it, Mayu, is that what if wind to get into it and catch it and lift it?
Yeah, my hubby was exactly the same. He was talking about that. But you see, that's why we'll have the battens running across, and you use washers and screws to pin it down anyway. So you could literally stud it as close as, as it is on the greenhouse, which is like every 30 centimeters or every foot. So you could really stud it down onto the timbers then.
You can get like a piece of it's a bit like an F.
Like an L bracket or...
Oh, no, it's an F. There we go. So it sits in there.
Another T?
Just that way round.
Right.
Yeah, it's an F that way round. And you screw it into the piece of wood. So
and then slot that in.
You just slot it in.
Gotcha.
That's what I've got on my greenhouse.
AD's your man for this stuff, because honestly, he can build anything, this man.
Oh yeah, he has a lovely greenhouse. Oh my
Beautiful.
God, that's amazing. Yeah, love it.
So AD, if you want to like a week in Ireland, you can go up there and do that for Mayu,
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll say my own husband doing it. I'm going to try and not touch as many buttons today because I don't want it to freeze, but hopefully it won't. If not, I'll have to pop off again. I don't know what's going on with this. They've they've updated the restream, and I don't think they've ironed out all the kinks in it, and it was better before. There was nothing wrong with it, but if I have to pop off again, then I have to. But we'll manage. Kerry, why is everyone like? Should we talk about your new plot first, and then we'll talk about, or should we talk about things that people should do in their allotments first, and then we'll talk about yours? Should we do that?
Okay.
What do you want to do, Kerry?
Oh, the second one.
Oh, the tea. No, Kerry, the tea. Come on,
Digwell
spill it.
Greenfingers, any more nonsense, and I'm gonna mute you in the chat for tonight. Telling her your distraction. Yeah. So Kerry.
Yes.
Oh God, my chat is frozen. I don't know what's going on with this thing tonight. I don't know. I really don't. I'll just plod on, and then if I need to show pictures, then I might have to disappear. But I don't know what's going on with it tonight. I'm on, but I'm not getting full access. So we'll hope for the best. Kerry, when you're going to be starting, obviously, your new plot from the beginning again. Like, that's still exciting, though, isn't it? Like, it's not all doom and gloom about I'm starting again. I get excited about that stuff.
Well, I don't think I had realised, because I've had 2 seasons on my current plot, and I don't think I realised after 1 season that I would be starting all over again on the next season. I think I thought once you had a bit of infrastructure, some perennials on the plot, that sort of thing. But no, when it got to sort of February, March, and I was looking at my plot, I was like, oh God, I'm starting again from scratch. And it was in part my own fault, because I didn't prepare the plot in winter well enough.
I remember last year, and I kept thinking, like, that's going to be a toughie, like, later on,
It was. I should have covered the beds. That was the thing. And I think I had these good intentions to use cover crops and use my cardboard. I'd got rabbit bedding and grass clippings and all these organic matter that I was going to put on the beds. But the crops stayed in the beds for so long because the winter was mild. My brassicas were just in there all winter long, and they were dotted all over the plot, rather than thinking keep them in one section.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I could just cover a whole bed, because there were still things growing in it. And if you don't do that, then other things you don't want start growing in it. Primarily.
I think that is like one of those things you do learn, though, because I remember that I remember on the grapevine plot, I had like some sprouts by there, and I had 1 or 2 cabbages there. And it is actually better to try and forward think that, even when you're planting out, try and clump it all together so that that's all out the way, and you can plod on all the rest of it. Otherwise, like you're saying, you're weeding a bed, or you're doing a bit on the bed, and there's still stuff in the beds. Because I've seen on your videos, that you're like, oh well, I'm doing all this, but there's still those on the corner of the bed or whatnot. And it's hard, isn't it? If you're going to grow all year, it's always going to be hard, because there'll always be something in the beds. Like that's the plus side, really, of putting your beds to for winter. Do you know what I mean?
Because I want to grow all year round, but at the same time, then that comes with those other challenges. And I think if I was more of a planner, I am not a planner. So when a crop becomes available to put in, I basically just look for a space and I put it there. So it's not like I've thought ahead of time, that's where when that comes out, it will go in, and all of those sorts of things. It's just like when it's ready, I look for the space.
Yeah. AD, have you ever thought about having an allotment as well, or expanding anything? Because yours is in the garden, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'd
love an allotment, but we live in the countryside and we don't have allotments.
Is that why?
It's a bit of a different thing.
Oh.
We've got about 10 in the village, but there's a lot of old people here, so you just don't get any spaces at all. There's a long waiting list.
That's a shame, really, though, isn't it? That, because that'd be such a bigger space, because you must be constrained, with space really on yours, because you've only got a certain amount of beds, haven't you? And then you're constantly waiting for something to come out to go back in.
Yeah, and I'd love to have a old pumpkin patch, or all these different things, and put hard structures in and put big nets up, because as soon as you put nets up, you can't see through them. I've got the big climbing frame here, and that's blocking out now all the hellebores that are coming up. So I'm looking at it and thinking I may take that down. It's a fine balance, isn't it, to get the garden and to be productive.
Yeah. Maya, what about you? Do you ever feel like that sometimes, because you've got the rose garden, you've got all these ornamentals, and then also you're trying to grow in between. Does that work for you? Is that a good balance that you've got?
I think so, but I'll tell you honestly, it's the sort of the vegetable side of it has gotten me a little bit more excited. The ornamental side sometimes feels like a luxury to have. And it just comes down to time, really, the time management.
So would you always prioritize the vegetables?
Yes.
I think
yes. You could see it from the videos. I do. And the minimum amount of time I have, it's sort of going quicker to the vegetable side, because in spring now I do appreciate, and during the summer I appreciate the flowers a lot, but actually very early spring, and then let's say the autumn now, vegetables only. Actually, during the summer, do you know what I've been looking at is like, I hardly want to do any gardening. I just want to enjoy it, just to be in it. And then I even looking back at pictures or video clips from summer, I'm like, that's all. You just want to be surrounded by it, relax in it, and do all the work in spring and autumn. That would be my ideal, I'd say, setup. So I think, you get more enjoy out of the sort of ornamental side as a pleasure garden. But it is a luxury. And then if I say any of that, Danny will tease me. So that was good, Danny, that you went away there for 2 seconds.
I'll watch the catch up and I'll be like, damn it! I'm really sorry. Hopefully that I can these glitch it.
Well, that seems
You'll find out.
Yeah, frozen again.
Yeah, that did not help.
I don't know what's going on here today.
But I'm really liking the cottage garden side of it. The rose garden is giving me a bit of a headache this year. The roses aren't doing as well. I think it has a bit of that replanting sickness in the soil. So I have to rethink that still. So I'm a little bit upset with the rose garden this year. But the cottage garden is getting on quite well. I just haven't had a chance to actually film it and show it, which is a bit of a pity, but
Yeah.
It takes ages to get the YouTube videos together.
Oh God, I know.
It's the editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to moan about because I do enjoy editing videos, but I don't think people really like when I did a video, 2 weeks ago, and it must have took 6 hours. I started at 7 o'clock in the evening, and I was still there till 1 o'clock in the morning. It was, and it's just the little clips and putting the transitions in, and adding the music, and it's all those things, isn't it? But I do enjoy it, though. I do enjoy it. Hopefully now, what I've done is I think it might be overloaded, so I kicked Jane out from the background, hoping that that's not taking too much of it, and then hopefully, hopefully I won't have any more glitches. But if I do, I'm just gonna have to battle through. But these things happen, I suppose, technology, but hopefully not. But yeah, I feel like I'm missing out all the ammo that Mayo's giving me. I'm missing it. But yeah. I think, Mayo, do you have allotments in Ireland, where you are? Because I've never.
I actually didn't know, but yes, apparently there is allotments, but they're more in more urban settings. There's community gardens, let's say, in some of the villages as well. But no, it would be really more for the village people, as like if we have the site here, I'd say everybody would just look down on us like, what are you doing here? Get back to your own land.
Yeah, I don't think I know an Irish YouTuber. Do you, Kerry? Do you know any? Can you think of one?
None.
How strange is that?
It was My Tiny Garden.
Is
that Northern Ireland?
I'm not sure.
She started off with
You,
My Tiny Garden.
Danny, you're teasing me now. You don't know any Irish YouTubers? Gardeners?
I do, but what I mean is with an allotment. Obviously, I know
Oh,
Niall.
yeah. Well, a tiny garden. Yeah, Laura.
Yeah, she's got one. Yeah.
She had a really tiny backyard. She's renting the house, I think, and she just got an allotment, and she's in Wexford. So that would be closer to your side on the Welsh coast. And yeah, they seem to have large allotment sites, but not really around where we're at.
Should we answer some of the questions so we don't forget them all? So Wendy has asked, first time growing oca. Oh, well, this one's for you, Mayu. Well, for all of us, really. But Adie, before we answer it, I'll read it out, Mayu. Adie, before we answer it all, have you grown oca as well?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh
no.
I thought in your last video, Adie, when you were saying what you would put in that bed because you weren't putting the brassicas in anymore, and I was like, "Ooh, oca."
Yeah.
In that bed.
Yeah. Do you know? But that's the thing, Gary. I always keep thinking, like, what if they don't like the taste of it?
Yeah.
I'm actually dreading when the day Danny will actually taste oca, and he hates it the same as he hates courgettes. Would you imagine somebody to hate a courgette?
I think it's more. I just think that it's not that I hate courgette. I just think, I've never heard anyone saying, "Do you know what? When I get in, I can't wait to get in and have a courgette." I've never known anyone say that before.
A grilled courgette with these stripes on it. Oh, yummy! A bit crunchy in the middle still.
So Wendy's asked, first time growing oca, the package said it should be harvested now. However, the foliage is lush and growing like mad, and it's having a second flush of flowers.
Good.
When do I dig
Very
it up?
good. Yeah.
I haven't got flowers.
Hold firm.
Hold them. Hold tough. Now is the time when it's growing.
I made this mistake last year, didn't I, Mayo? I remember showing them. And they were like these little things. I thought, this ain't what I was supposed to be getting, but they swell up, don't they, after the foliage dies?
Yeah. Do you mind if I nip off for 2 seconds? I'll show you something. I'll bring it out of my fridge
because I have when Jane Kelly went.
Sorry. No. I'll actually. This is on topic.
Go on then. We'll wait you. Adie, if you do want some though, oh God, this is me promising blooming seeds again. If I not saying I don't like them, but I've planted a whole bed up of them. So there's plenty in there. So if you do want to try some to grow, if you come into Spring Malvern, remind me the day before or something. That's all right. I can do that. It's posting.
I want to see you do a taste test first.
Yeah, we'll do a taste. We'll do a taste test. Go on,
and do you have to clean them up as well? A lot. Really scrub them up.
I think they're a bit like a potato, isn't they?
Yeah.
They just treat them like a potato.
Yeah, they're easy to prepare.
Right. Okay. So these were the tiniest of oca pieces that I harvested last year. Can you see it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They've been sitting from last year. So this is last year's season. Let me just get the camera right.
Yeah.
They've been sitting in the fridge, out of the way, in a Tupperware box, not even covered, and they're all sprouting. So they're all ready now for next spring.
Yeah.
It's just they're just the tiniest. Like I didn't want to really dump them anywhere else because they multiply. I didn't want to create a
leave it to me.
Jerusalem or artichoke walls around the borders of.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked the servants haven't thrown them out, Mayu. I really am. I'm really shocked the servants. Oh, I'm shocked you didn't give them for Christmas.
But why have you just left them in the fridge? Why didn't you eat them more?
Oh no, they're tiny. No, they're just too small.
Hey, they're bigger than what I grew last year.
No, I was actually just keeping them as seeds. Do you know, they're really tiny. Do you know, and they just have grown all nice sprouts on them.
I already think I'm not gonna like them because I got a horrible feeling. I don't like water chestnuts. And this is the feeling. This is the.
Oh my God, you're weird.
Only if you're going to eat them raw, but you won't. You'll cook them.
No, you
Yeah.
cook them. Yeah, you roast them.
Yeah.
Mix
Right.
roast, so you'll have a taste
You
of
are.
everything a little bit.
I remember asking Kerry, I said, "Oh, Kerry, any chance I can have some of the okra?" She was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I harvested them all. I've eaten them all, blah, blah, blah."
I've eaten them all.
So I was, "Oh, okay then." So I went on and ordered £39 worth of okra that I might not like. And then the week later, she says to me, "Oh," on her video, I'm sat there watching the telly. And she goes, "Oh, my God, I've got another bed of okra." And I was like,
Plant. Just one plant.
"One plant? That was more. That's going to save me £39.
This is a good point, though, because you don't harvest them until the foliage has died back, and you need to wait. Even when the foliage has died, don't do it straight away. They're still growing. So wait.
I'm gonna try in February, I think.
But you've got to know where they are. So if like I dotted them around different beds, and that's what had happened. And I went to put. I think I was putting the garlic in, and then I was like, oh, there's all this. There, I could have given that to Danny. Oh wow.
Someone's asked where are okra native? Is it New Zealand?
Yeah,
New Zealand, right?
New Zealand,
yeah.
aren't they?
No,
No, go on, Mayu.
no, it would be South America.
Is it like a Peru one or
Andes?
something?
It's Peru and Andes. Yeah.
Oh.
It just became more popular quickly there. It's been in Europe for ages as well. It's just potato became more popular. That's all. Because, like, at the end of the day, you know, rather than trying to eat these little things, you know, you'd have a proper spud. So,
well,
yeah.
I haven't got to that level yet. Marvelous. What have I got? Marvelous Gardeners just said, Mayu, oh my God, I watched your channel today for the first time and I'm blown away. You have a fairy tale garden. It's beautiful.
Oh, who was that? I better check them out now because I didn't see that yet.
Marvelous garden. That's really kind.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dora has asked, what is the one thing you would look out for when picking and taking on a new allotment plot? That's a good question. Kerry, I'm guessing me and you are going to have to answer this.
Oh, I guess so. I think more than anything, the soil itself. I think a lot of other things you can get around, like if there are perennial weeds and things, you can manage it. But if the soil is bad, then you know an awful lot of effort all the time to try and get it better. I don't know, maybe. I mean, for me, it was not knowing that the plot flooded, but I couldn't have known at that time until it was the middle of winter and raining. And then it was like, oh, I didn't realize this was going to happen.
I think a deal breaker for me would be if it's got mare's tail or a lot of bindweed. I mean, fair play to Linda. She had piles. I'm not even joking. I can't tell you. It was like a lasagna effect where people kept getting fed up of digging it. So they put another layer of plastic compost on top. And there was layers. And I wouldn't have done it. But so fair play to them. I don't think people appreciate the amount of labour that went into that second plot of Linda's. But they're the deal breakers. Bindweed, you can manage a bit. But mare's tail, there's nothing worse than you've weeded the bed, you've got everything ready, and then you come back over again and there's a pile more. And you're just constantly doing this all the time. So for me, it would be mare's tail. And I think another thing would be, like you said, the soil, because I didn't really, which is weird to think that the grapevine plot had beautiful soil all the way through. And then I went on to the fig and olive plot. Keep up with me here. And that soil was absolutely, it was beautiful. That I found out recently that someone said that a pile of the manure was put on it, like tons and tons, and they left it for so long. So that's why it's so nice. And you wouldn't believe that even just adjacent to it, which is my new plot, is all clay. So I didn't really take that into consideration because I've never grown on clay soil before. So I'm now adapting and trying to sort of, like you were, Kerry, with the drainage. And I'm a bit concerned about it becoming too much of a bog because I'm used to just putting my garlic in and being like, oh yeah, it's great, there's great drainage. And now I'm worried about, is it going to rot or is it not going to do very well? So
I got my first plot in December, and the first thing I did was put garlic in. not realizing I'd put it in the corner of the plot that was the worst pudding. It's still, actually, I still produced garlic, not very good garlic, and onions. But yeah, that wasn't such a wet winter, the first one, compared to this one.
I think when you take on a plot as well, I think you need to do that thing about spreading things out and testing as well, because there could be things, you know, like club root in the soil that you'll never know about until you grow brassicas in it. And that's why this year, even though I've got 2 designated beds on the new plot for garlic, I'm still going to plant some on the fig and olive plot, in some buckets, in the polytunnel, because I do want to have at least enough for me to eat and save bulbs for next year. So I am spreading it out a little bit and trying to have plan, you know, B, C, and D. But yeah, I think of those 2 things definitely. And also, your plot neighbours as well, because sometimes it's nice to have plot neighbours around you that are quite chatty and stuff, because, you know, there's nothing worse if you've got, like, dare I say it, 4 negative Nancys around you and they're all just niggling, and it does happen. Like, I watched another one of yours recently, Kerry, and there's much to watch on YouTube, and it was the plot politics one, and you get that everywhere. You know, there's always some little drama or scandal, and you think, God, this is just an allotment, you know. But there is some downsides to it as well. But you know,
I think that was the first time I'd been to, like, the AGM and heard all the things that were going on that you don't normally hear about.
I don't think people realise when they join an allotment that these people are crazy.
Oh, it's its own little micro society. And everything is going on. Yeah.
It's beyond passion for gardening.
Yeah. My sister has put in the chat, the thing you should look out for is noisy dogs next door.
Yeah, I should say that.
Mark said the same thing. Yeah, there I saw Mark there. Yappy dogs.
We have a joke that if Mark starts his own YouTube channel, it'll be called "Get That Dog Off My Plot."
I remember one of your first videos where you oh God, this thing is frozen again. Right. I remember one of the first episodes where you told everyone where your mum lived on the channel. I was like, oh my God, like, she's telling me where she lives. But we live and learn, Kerry. We live and learn.
Yeah. Well, on the new plot, I won't be able to wave to my mum from the plot anymore. So that's sad, especially when she would give me snacks over the fence. Or if the dog was getting too yappy, I would just, like, plonk her over the fence to my mum. So, yeah, won't be able to do that anymore. I suppose I could, just a little bit of a walk.
Do you do any of these shows? Because they all have these shows, don't they?
Horticultural shows?
Yeah. No, the allotment shows, you know, the show of veg. Do you do any of that?
No, we have prizes. So there's a competition for best plot. I got best newcomer the first year. I don't think I'm ever getting best plot again. But it was very nice to get that in the first year. But then I do take my produce to the horticultural show, the local one. But we didn't have one this year because the person was ill, and I really missed it because Mark and I were both very geared up towards the show after we'd done our first one the year before, and now we knew what it was all about and the sorts of things that you have to do. So Mark had actually bought special varieties of veg that would be show veg and things like that. But yeah, it didn't happen. So we'll have to wait till next year. But did you like that at Malvern, seeing all
they were massive, weren't they? They were just alien.
Yeah.
Some of the size of, what was it? There were those pumpkins. There was pumpkins and carvings on them as well. How much time did they spend doing that?
I know.
Yeah.
And how do they get it to the show? Like those pumpkins. But he's back. I took seed from one of the prize pumpkins, the giant pumpkins, the year before, and I wanted to grow it this year, although it would have just taken up a whole bed on the plot. But the mouse ate the seed, so it never happened.
Why are we not full screen? Can you see this? Oh, I don't know what's going on here today, honestly. Ian from IBR Stella also said about the Oca Mayu, do they get blight? But
no,
they don't, do they? No. I
No,
do like the foliage on them, though.
Oh, it's
yeah.
beautiful.
You could eat that. But it's very
Oh.
like it's oxalis, so it's really lemony and sour. Yeah, and you can't eat too much of it, obviously.
What did I just miss anyway? What did I miss? Anything interesting?
Nah.
Shh, don't tell him.
I feel like I'm on a different live here. Honestly, I don't know what's going on with this technology today. Michelle has asked, I am preparing my new plot ready for spring. What veg could I get prepared for March onwards? Do you mean what veg would you put in March? I'd say probably I'd start sowing ready for summer cabbages. Everything in March, isn't it? Like March is like you can get anything in right then as well. But if you mean anything to grow now, it'd probably just be the garlic, overwintering onions, which is my last chance to do a mayo because I find them such a waste of time doing overwintering onion. You know the overwintering onions?
Oh yeah, I just thought I'll try them because
I'm doing it as well.
The land is there. It's just empty, you know.
That's pretty much how I see it. I think if I get one or two out of it, then at least there's something was in the beds. But they always bolt. You know, there's always so many things battling them. But we'll see what happens. AD, do you do overwinter onions?
Yeah, but I'll keep them in the greenhouse.
And then put them out. Sorry, that's right. I was going to ask you about this. So, do you keep them in the module trays until?
Yeah, 9 centimeter pots.
Right.
That way they don't get any. They don't
no rust either. I can't text.
So I was going to ask you that because on your video you said, they'll stay here now, and I was thinking, would they not stress out in the little modules, But if they're 9-inch pots, have you done that before and it's worked? Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not going to put everything out all at one go, just in case you just get attacked by slugs, doesn't it? It's a big breakfast for them. So I'm just going to put it out bit by bit at the moment. Take my time.
Go on, Edie.
We always get a real heavy frost, don't we, around about the end of November?
We usually do, but at the moment it's a very freak weather. Like last week we had consistent temperature day and night in Ireland. I'm not sure how that weather system carried over to UK or not, but it was like steady 12, 14 degrees. Even today, 14, 16 degrees.
Yes,
and obviously now they're talking about it's the warmest year in history. I think it's going to be on record 2024.
I'm worried though, because I think if we're going to get this warm now, are we going to get a thrashing from the winter, And that's a bit of my worry that really are we going to get another? Because people they always try and scare you and all, but there was people on the plot with, we reckon we're going to get a beast from the east again this year. I'm thinking this old man's been saying this for a few years.
No, they're talking the same, like the 2010 snow, and that was bad snow. Like we were snowed in. We couldn't get anywhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll see. Border Plotters asked, are you sowing anything now? I've sowed pak choi and some spring onions, but that's about it, really. Yeah. Spring onions, definitely sow some now because they're the first things you can get then. Lettuce as well.
I have to do more salads, mine all failed.
Are you writing that down, Maya?
What am I writing down? I've nothing. I'm here just to look at you, Danny. I can hardly even follow the chat. It goes so fast. I know.
I'm still thinking I'm going to get cut off 5 times more times before the end of the life, so don't worry. Are all seeds good seeds? Where would you avoid buying them from or prefer buying them from? AD, where would you recommend a good seed supplier?
I use real seeds a lot.
Same. Welsh.
Yeah. Who else do we use? Victorian nurseries as well.
Oh. Premier seeds I used a little bit too as well, but yeah.
If you get a bad bunch of seeds, then just use them as microgreens.
Yeah.
Not parsnip though.
No what?
Not parsnip.
Parsnip microgreens.
Yeah.
Did you try that, Kerry? Did you try it?
No. I just feel it's such a shame that parsnip, you can't eat the foliage, because that's the seed that you're supposed to only use in the first year. And you always get a packet that's got far too many parsnip seeds. And it's like, if I could use that as a microgreen, then that would use that up. But otherwise, you waste it.
It's like when you buy a bag of brassicas, isn't it? Like cabbage, and it'd be like 4,000 seeds in it. I'm thinking, why do I need 4,000? And the germination rate is really good. So I had to think, why would I need, you know, that many seeds? But anyway, yeah. Has anyone grown onions from seeds? Yeah, they're a bit of a fiddly thing.
Yeah.
But once you get over that dampening off sort of, that panic stage, I learned from my first experience, I was trying to mother them too much. So I was keeping them indoors, and that was the worst thing ever for them. I've learned now, as soon as they start showing their little heads in the compost, straight over to the polytunnel, and then I've noticed that seems to work better for me. But when I had them here, I was getting little fungus gnats, and they were eating all the roots, and it was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. But yeah, I'm gonna do my seeds on Boxing Day. So do you all do Boxing Day sowing for seeds? Kerry, are you
No, I'm not
drunk then, aren't you? You're probably drunk.
Yeah, probably. No, I'm usually out on Boxing Day, so no. I think about a week later this year.
Maya, do you give the staff time off over Christmas?
Yes, they all get time off at Christmas.
If anyone's watching, we're only joking. I like Mayu hasn't got servants, but I do like to call her house Mayu Manor because she might have. One time I did honestly think one was escaping, but I think it was your husband. I thought it was really cute that on this video though that you was there plodding on, and I think it was him in the little back. Did you think that was cute, Kerry?
Yeah,
it wasn't even planned, but he just did like a little wiggle like that, and I actually went, and it wasn't even. I knew that wasn't even planned, but it kind of looked like a little boy on his little toy that he was having, But he just did like a little wiggle on the lawn, and I went, oh. What are your favourite flowers to include in a polyculture bed, apart from calendula? Go on, Maya.
Borage, lavender, yarrow, lupins. Oh, lupins for sure. I should have said lupins first.
You can sow lupins now as well. We're still mild enough to sow them, but yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I actually, Kerry, how do you get on with your sowings? I haven't seen those seedlings ever since. Sorry.
I really need to prick those out.
Oh no!
They seem fine.
They're all right. Edie, what about you? What would you suggest? What's your favourite flowers?
I use a lot of herbs. I really like coriander as well. When you just let that go, you get all these massive white flowers. So I'm just going to be planting that around the garden.
Don't tell Linda that. She got enough going to seed. I've never known an allotment here like Linda who gets excited about everything going to seed. I'm really devastated. And she's like, oh, I can't wait for the flowers. We had to do a plot inspection once, and me and Linda was going around, and one of the committee members said to Linda, like, you're the worst person to come around to inspect people's plots, because she was seeing everything going to seed, and she was like, how beautiful is this? And they're like, no, this is a non-managed plot. But Linda seen the sunshine and everything, so she was like, Linda, you're not good at this, because she couldn't. She was like, oh, give him a chance, It's really nice, but Linda loves everything going to flower. She's a flower gardener, so yeah, I'm always devastated when I start seeing things going to flower. Linda's like, I'm going to leave it in to go to flower. But yeah,
the first year on my plot, there were some bits and pieces left in the shed, and one of them was a big packet of supermarket coriander seed. So I just threw it around the plot, and that is my want.
Such a vegan thing to do. Lunch, future food.
But it all grew, but it bolted very quickly, and all the flowers came out. But it was glorious. All the fluffy white flowers, and I'd done so much Amimagus in the garden, which was a right faff, trying to overwinter the plants and then planting them out. And I thought I could have just thrown coriander seed around.
Yeah,
and supermarket coriander seed, so cheap as chips.
That's what I'm going to. Have you tried the green seed when the seed's green? It's a real zesty lemon.
Yeah. I put
really
that in.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just checking something for. Yes, I was just checking something that it was on the other live because someone said they couldn't see it, but the chat, but it's back. Someone has asked, why Yeti's asked, I'm still waffling on about garlic. What type and when our winters can get to -30 Fahrenheit? I know I can't decide getting as much info as I can. Ooh, that's a bit. What's -30 Fahrenheit in Celsius? Alexa, what's -30 Fahrenheit in Celsius?
-30 degrees Fahrenheit is -34.
I'd say leave it until spring, maybe.
-34. That can't
Yeah,
be
leave
right.
it until spring.
Leave it until you move. That's what I suggest. Right, you don't want that bulb will be splitting like no tomorrow. You'll have tiny little things. Yeah, that's really cool. Wow.
Yeah, but actually, do you know what? That grow it in a greenhouse. Or just heavy mulching. Because
that's cold,
at the end of the day, but you're freezing. As long as they know what their freezing depth is, do you know what is your safe? Because you don't want the bulb to freeze through and through. That's all it is, though.
I'd probably leave it now, though. Probably January.
Usually the January, yeah, exactly.
Give it a little bit
for spring.
Yeah,
but you see, people that get that kind of cold weather, their soil probably doesn't warm up until April.
Yeah.
So it's like, probably they won't be able to grow standard garlic. What we're talking about, because we grow a lot of French garlic, soft neck as well, soft neck, hard neck. But no, leave it indoors if can. Greenhouse.
Going back to the allotment garden thing though, Maya, you've got compost bays. AD, you've just emptied yours and
yeah.
You just did that a little bit. I can't show pictures tonight, guys, so we're just gonna have to. I know all those pictures being sent as well. What a shame!
It took me ages.
And we were so organised. Oh, Danny!
I renamed them as well just for us.
I know. And mine, maybe that's what's happening. I don't know what's.
That's karma. Now you even gave out to me that I sent the picture so early, and I was so good.
It's just, I don't know what to suggest. But I was going to go back to the compost bay thing that we've all got them. So I would say starting a garden. I think that's one of the first things you should start. I think especially if you've got a lot of weeds or you've got a lot of things on there that you want to get rid of and you want to compost down, I think putting a compost bay is the first thing you do really to start, because you want a bin, don't you? You want somewhere to put everything rather than just letting it rot to nowhere. So, Kerry, we can't even show me a thing, can we? Shall I go off, right, come back on, and then hopefully we can just put your picture up? Imagine we freezing that on then for the next 15, 20 minutes. Right.
He's not left us with a topic to talk about.
No, he hasn't, no.
We're free.
Has your new allotment got compost bays?
It has, and it's got a lot. 6.
Right, let's have
wow.
I know, they're just all in a line. There's loads of them.
Is it physically bigger than your old plot?
I'm not telling you.
Oh. Are you taking Mark with you onto that plot?
I'm not telling you.
I bet you are. I feel you're going to share it with him.
Oh, that's a plot twist.
I'm just going to see if Mark's going to say anything in the chat and give it away.
Come on, Mark Darcy.
Sorry for him if he has to share with you. Honest to God, his life is going to be hell.
I will tell you this. When I was offered the plot, which was way back in May, and I said to the guy, I don't know. I said, I have to think about it, because I was immediately thinking, I don't want to leave Mark. And then Mark's standing right next to me and he's like, well, if you don't have it, I'll have it.
He was going to go without you.
Should we show the plot now before I can't access them? So this is for anyone who wants to see Kerry's plot. This is what she's taking on. So how far down does it go, Kerry? Are you going to tell us?
It's a lot longer than it looks in that picture. So it includes that polytunnel.
Oh wow!
Right.
Yeah,
that would be why you didn't want it when I mentioned a polytunnel. You was like, nah, I don't want a polytunnel. I was like, yeah, go on, Kerry.
And if you can just see behind the polytunnel a little roof, and that's a greenhouse. So there's a greenhouse behind that. And then that's where there's a whole series of compost trays behind that. And the trees on there, there's Victoria plum, there's a green gage as well. But at the moment, as you can see, most of the growing space is just covered in the black plastic.
Oh fancy it all being ready for you again.
It's not only covered in the black plastic. I've had a look under, and he did dig the whole thing for me as well.
Of course he did. They know about you, that's why.
Well,
they know.
Before he gave it up, because I walked by the plot anyway when I was walking the dog through the site, and there was a lot of weeds, and I kept thinking, he's letting this go a bit weedy. But then, bless him, he did. He got it all sorted for me.
Mayu, should we show off some of your? I've actually, Mayu, put a lot of pictures on you as well. Oh God, no, I can't. I can't. The pictures are out. It's frozen. I don't know what's going on with this live tonight, so I do apologise, but it's not as interactive as I hope it was. So, what do I do? Carry on.
Nothing else to do. Oh no, he's not carrying on. I want to go back to a question that was on the chat earlier that Mark asked, because we've been paying our plot fees, and I think this is something to consider when you're getting a new allotment, is how much it costs. Because the variable in the cost, I was astonished. So I said on my video I was paying £27 for my full-size plot. Very reasonable. Then somebody commented, and the cheapest was £5 for a full-size plot, access to water. I was like, oh my God, for a year. And then somebody commented that the prices were going up, and it was going to be £260.
Wow.
And I'm sure they said that did not include water.
Wow.
Jersey CI says, are we going to play Guess the Gardener? We'll try and get Guess the Gardener in.
Yeah, maybe that won't work.
Hopefully it will. I hope so. I don't know what's going on. I think it's just one of those bad days that it's just the lives are not playing game, but we'll hopefully get through it anyway. Kerry, I think your plot prices are pretty similar to mine. I think I remember rightly, yours is about £23 to £25 average per plot.
Mine was 27, but you pay £5 for membership of the community. Last year we paid £1 because we were becoming a limited company, so you bought a share in the company. And this year we paid an extra £1 for a raffle ticket, which is being drawn on Sunday, and is up to £50, which is very exciting.
People are putting up one Jersey CID says he pays £300 for 70 metres with water.
Wow.
Whoa.
God. You must really like gardening.
Is that a private plot?
Maybe. Jamie said £260. I'd want him to dig my garden over. Well, Kerry does every year. She has someone. That's why I told Kerry the other day on text. I said, I think you just change plots. When a plot comes up, you think, oh, it's time to go. It's time to move on to new pastures. But it's exciting though, Kerry. It's exciting that the only thing is, because you've got those structures on there, are you keeping them all where they are for now? Are you just gonna?
Well, yeah, I am, because I'm lazy. But I was thinking about this in terms of taking on new plots and gardens, and that it's been my thing to just think, well, the person before me had it set up like this, so there must be a good reason that they've got it set up like this, and I just keep it as it is. And I was thinking, actually, when you go into a new space, just because that suited them doesn't mean it's going to suit you. And I really wish when I first got my plot, I knew those beds were too big for me. Like you would be climbing all over them. You're going to be compacting the soil. It's already clay. And I just wish at that point I'd thought, don't leave it as it is. Put the raised beds on, divide them up in some way. So yeah, I mean, you've always advised, aren't you, to like observe your space for a year and things like that. But actually, I don't know that that's the best advice. As in, you can't do that on allotment plot. If you just sat there and observed it for a year.
Yeah. I'm not going to say, Kerry, but that's what you have done. Oh, you asked for that one, Kerry.
I did. I walked into that.
I agree. When I first seen the plot, I thought, "Ooh, but that's a proper digger plot, isn't it? You know, big squares, couple of little tiny little muddy paths, and they wear wellies all the year. We're YouTubers. We're not into that. We like bark paths and, you know, nice shoes on to see my nice new wellies, Kerry. Every time I slip them on now, I do think I feel like I've robbed you with this.
Yeah, I feel like that too. Yeah.
I do feel a little bit like that. I think like, oh, Kerry deserves a pair of these as well. I do think that you deserve a pair.
You know what I was thinking actually? I did think I could get in touch with them because I hit 3,000 subs this week. And I thought it might be nice to do like a giveaway or something, and I could ask them.
I hope I win.
Someone a pair of boots, and then I could get a pair of boots.
Oh, if you pulled my name out, you'd press record again, and you'd redraw, wouldn't you? You'd redraw. He's not having.
He's got some. No, he can't.
He's not having them in maroon red as well.
I do think the yellow looks good.
I glow coming on that path. Yeah. But I was really, but I do think, yeah, you do.
It's what a shame you can't put pictures up, as you could show people your boots.
I know, right? Go and watch well, if you watch on Sunday's video, I showcase them on there as well. Yeah, I showcase them on. Right, should we play Guess the Gardener just in case we can't in a minute?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do the Guess the Gardener because I don't think we can do that.
Oh, you just sing then.
Let me see. Oh my god, how am I going to know which one's which now? Oh, this is a worry now. If I press the wrong one. Oh yeah, okay, I can just about see it. So this week's Guess the Gardener. Now in the chat, let's have a look if you can tell who this week's Guess the Gardener is. So, look who it is. And no, it's not Steve Digwell.
That's Linda.
You think it's Linda?
Is it?
She hasn't got a cup of tea in her hand, a cup of coffee and cake. Who do you think it could be? Who in the chat? Pop in the chat who you think it could be this week's. Someone said Tom. Who's Tom?
Robin.
Robin.
Tony.
It could be. I've seen him in ringlets.
Oh, look, my sister's just commented there should be a jingle. Just shows she doesn't watch every week.
That's it.
There is a jingle.
There is a jingle, but the internet's a bit of a jangle. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Everyone is saying, oh, someone's saying Jane. Looks like Linda's smile.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I wish I didn't know who the Guess the Gardeners was, because I'd love this game. Now, there's a toss-up between Linda's and Robin's. Most people are saying Linda, though. But everyone's saying, should we have a look who it is this week? I hope we don't get stuck on the screen. If not, this person is going to be up for the rest of their life. So this week's Guess the Gardener is... Now, if you are a YouTuber, send some in, because I'm running a bit thin now on the Guess the Gardeners. So, it is Linda! I mean, how could you not know that little smile? Well, big smile. She's always smiling. I often wonder, though, if she always smiles or is it just because I'm around. That's what I always think. Look at Kerry. Linda, what do you think? What do you think, Linda?
What's that?
Are you always smiling or is it just because I'm around?
I smile a lot, but, you know, I mean, I have my moments the same as everybody else, you know.
I don't know. I don't think I've
Mine, Doug says I laugh in my sleep very often.
Well, that's good. We do have a laugh over there, though, don't we, Linda?
We do, Danny. Yeah.
Oh, gotta cut her off. I can't jeopardize the Wi-Fi. Yeah, sometimes one of my favourite things to do is to get Linda in a proper hysterics where she can't control herself and she has to sit down. Or it's one of my favourite things to do. Once I just throw one of those one-liners in, it's one of the best. Should we carry on talking about how we can start this garden? Because I feel like people might want to start writing down tips and stuff ready for AD's garden. Slightly off topic. AD, did you write this?
No.
Is that a Stanley thermos you were drinking from? If so, can you still get parts for it in the UK? They seem to have discontinued that model here in the US.
It is, but yeah, you can't get parts. It's really hard. This
For a
one's pretty
flask?
broken. Yeah, I've got a washer missing on this one. Yeah, it doesn't really work now.
I've never thought about buying a part for my flask. If my flask to break, I'd only just buy a new flask because I don't know. I didn't know you could buy parts for flasks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Did you know this, Mayu?
Yeah. You know the cost of Stanley flasks.
Yeah.
Don't you
You'd want to buy
Yes,
parts
I
for
do. Mayu, I'm hoping you'll buy me one for Christmas. Yes, I do. I've been looking at this. You know,
Think
the
of the
Stanley...
fucking Brexit costs. You
I
know, you
know.
went out of EU. There's all customs and things in between it.
Well, that's only one way to get rid of you. That's the way it was. That's where my vote went. AD, I've been looking at the Stanley lunch boxes.
Yeah.
They're a bit pricey though. They are as well. They're a good £100 nearly for a lunch box, but I think they do look nice, you know. But
Well, these are about 8 years old. That's why. Bought them when they were cheaper.
I made a mistake the other day. I knew Linda wasn't coming over the plot, so I thought, do you know what? I'm going to be an independent gardener, and I took a flask over, even though I've got a stove, mind, and a kettle in there, but it's full of too much stuff at the moment for me to be doing those Instagram little videos of me sat in there with the logs and stuff. That'll be coming up soon.
I'm missing those.
I know, it'll be soon. I need to empty that shed and then start
You're
warming
grilling sausages and what else you're doing? Pot noodles in there and
pot noodles and steaks.
Yeah, the shelf of them, didn't he?
Yeah, I had loads of little bits of food and all, and I always used to think, don't matter. And then sometimes I used to be at home and I used to think, oh, I haven't got that. I better pop to the shop. And then I think, well, I got it at the plot. I'll go there. And I used to go there and get a tin of beans out there or something. It's just ridiculous. But my little stove is going to be set up soon. But anyway, I took a flask over, and for some reason, the flask went stone cold within like literally 20 minutes. So I had to sit there and drink cold coffee because Linda was having the day off. She's in the background chuckling. I don't want to say, but Linda's a bit of a twilight gardener. She'd have turned up normally. Honestly, I'm starting to think she's a vampire because we'll all go home, right? It's starting getting dark, and Linda's then turning up. She's quite happy to sit in the shed in the dark on her own, I think. But she tried to entice me over the day, and I was fighting back. And then she was like, "This all set up. If you'd like to come over," but I was like, I got things to do today, and I did. I had to try and sort all the pictures out for this, and that was a waste of time. I should have gone over with Linda, to be honest. Never mind. Kerry, so you've got your compost bays set up. Your plot's all ready for you. What do you do next? Not yours, because not everyone to get what you've got. You know what I mean? Most people turn up and there's car tyres there. There's a bath on there. I've got a shed on mine with no front on it. That's 80 years old, and I got to try and get rid of this. And there's a filing cabinet inside there, which I don't know what I'm going to do with. That's what I'm saying. This is the real allotment life, trying to get rid of things that people have just dumped on your plot but you've got it lovely. But if you say you didn't have it like that,
okay.
Well, what would what's next after you've done your compost? You've got everything ready.
Well, I've had experience of a not lovely plot because when Mark took on his next door, it was an absolute tip. So that was a person who had, I think, 3 or 4 plots on our site.
Wow.
And just disappeared and never came back. And
was it around about the same time you started?
I think they just went and lived elsewhere. And when the plots were then inspected, it turned out that they had basically just dug holes in the ground and stuffed rubbish in them.
No.
Half burnt it, and of course it floods as well, so it's like half burnt, also all soggy and wet, then piled wood chip on top of it to disguise it. And there was all like just rubbish all over the surface of the plot as well. So you cleared all that off and thought, like, that's it now, we've got the ground. But then as soon as you started digging, it was like, oh no, there's all rubbish underneath. I think people find this a lot with like carpets and things like that. And you were saying about the weed membrane and things.
Yeah.
People put down with good intentions probably and things, but then stuff grows into it and piles on, and then later somebody else comes along and wants to grow and find themselves having a real job.
Oh, I remember having 2 big, massive buckets full of glass where obviously someone's greenhouse had smashed, and they just put it all in buckets, or they buried all the glass that obviously, you know, they must have had a greenhouse that smashed. And that was horrible for me, because every time I was digging, I was afraid to put my hands in the soil. And that was where I was like, oh, this is not fun now. So that's where, you know, it's those little things where you got those hidden little...
Yeah, a lot of people say that about glass. And someone told me recently that they weren't allowed glass on their allotments.
Yeah.
So any greenhouse that you had to be the polycarbonate greenhouse.
So on our site now, if you bought a new greenhouse, you can't buy one with glass. You've got to buy the polycarbonate ones. You can't bring them on site. I think it's mainly for those reasons, because they're a nightmare, aren't they? Because I'm allowed to keep glass in mine because I've already got glass in it, you know. But if I wanted to buy a new one, don't know how I'd get around that if I was given a brand new wooden greenhouse with double doors at the front. No, I haven't, Kerry. I've not got one coming. Wish I did. Mark Days. I keep wanting to say Mark Darcy.
Oh yeah, we do that all the time.
Yeah, it's a bit of a posh name, isn't it? Yeah. So it's Mark Dacey, is it?
Yeah.
Is that the buff one, the muscly one? Is that him? I think she only put him on there. She's doing a gem here. They put him on there just for a bit of fluff.
Well, compete with Vince.
Yeah, Vince the Tank. Just catching up on the chat, just in case. I'm afraid to even open up the pictures thing, you know, because it's going to be one of those lives tonight. I hope it's not every week, but hopefully not. So the compost bays are at. We've got all the plot ready now, and I would say start, if it is all weedy, start at the front. I've always said that, like, put the compost bays where you need them, and then dig a little bit, and then I would definitely cover for winter if you're not going to use it. Are you going to keep all that covered now, Kerry?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I've got two things from the other plot, and there are perennials that I can keep some in buckets until the spring or whatever. But it's actually a really good time to be moving them and putting them in.
What about your garlic and all now? Have you planted that up?
I've not planted my garlic yet. I'm not in too much of a rush for that, and I think I'll do it all in the home garden this year anyway.
Ooh. You're not going to put any on the...
Wouldn't you like to put a little bit just to...
I think you should, just to commemorate that you've put something on the plot. You are a little bit like that.
Yeah, and I've got some lettuces that can go into the polytunnel. So
here we go. I hope your slugs, you're going to hear cries. We're going to miss you, Kerry. We're going to miss you. They're all going to wave you like the Titanic. On the back.
They're following me down.
Yeah, that's what they're like, come with us, guys. She's always got loads for us to eat. Maybe you'll meet new slugs.
I could meet new slugs. Yeah.
I hope they're not rougher, because you had a hell of a year though, didn't you, with your pumpkins as well, and that is a kick really though, isn't it? Especially when you're growing it and you get excited, and there's the one thing you want as well, and then that's the part about allotmenting and gardening, is that it's when it doesn't go right in Mayu, like when those things you think, God, I really wanted that this year, and then you don't get it, and it doesn't really knock you. The year before for me was the runner beans. I was thinking, God, this is the reason why I did get the allotment, you know. But yeah, you just got to take the knocks, I think, sometimes, and just think, right, next year is going to be it, and then you just convince yourself that next year is going to be better, and it might not be. I said this to Claire at the farm and garden. I said, you know, I think next year is going to get better, and she said they said that last year. You know, the weather's really bad. I hope so. But watch my prediction. I think we're going to have a really bitter winter.
I think so too, actually.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a cold winter.
I'm worried about yours with the all those winds, because I watched your latest video, and your tunnels, your arteries are all gone now as well, and
yeah, it's all right. It's fine.
Yeah, but
we had to get a second what's the weather station, because that's the one thing we missed. The last one gave up on us. So just to see the wind speeds, we sort of know now, once we see what this wind speeds are, that we don't worry about the property as much once it's a level, because we know the place can take it. And there's so many hedges, and there's trees and hedges around the place as well, so it's okay.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so anyway, because yours is quite open as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. AD, is yours quite open as well, though?
Yeah, I'm on 210 meters up.
Yeah, so, he's even higher, a little bit up.
That's why everything's chunky.
Is that? I was going to say, is that where your greenhouse is built the last?
Yeah. It was. It ripped one of the frames, the wooden frames on the climate frame out. The last storm did, so that's why it's coming down.
Marvelous Gardener said, "What do you think about fencing the plot? Are there any cons?" No. It keeps them in, Levy. It keeps you wouldn't believe the psychology of putting a little fence or border up to stop people from just wandering on, But Kerry, can you do that on your plot? Because yours is very open, and I remember once, didn't it say on a video once before that you'd like to, but they don't allow it. Is there a reason why that is?
I would love to know the reason why that is, because
do you think it's because they look a bit tatty then if people don't maintain
No, I think it's more to do with wildlife being able to move freely around the plot, and I think it's about creating shadow and shading out of plots if your structures are too big. But very recently somebody did put up a fence. It was just chicken wire all around their plot, and it was to keep the fox out. We've had fox issues.
Don't keep those out.
No, he wouldn't. I mean, it was only kind of this high. The fox would jump straight over it. But I think the fox had damaged their polytunnel and things. So they put it all the way around with a little gate on. And then it was only this weekend I was going up and down, moving things to the new plot. Well, he was there taking it down.
You've been told, expect.
Yeah, I asked. I said, in fact, I asked. And Mark was with me, and he was like, that sounded like you were the one who complained about it. It wasn't me.
They're already blaming you, Kerry.
But
if I ever visit, right, I'm going to whisper to him. She did that over there, She's the one. No, I had a fence all around the grapevine plot, and I loved it. I loved it because it felt like it was mine, and I was. You could lock the gate if you wanted to. Like, I didn't have it like massively fenced up. If you remember, I just had like the cattle ranch fencing, and that was mainly because I didn't want like buying weed from neighbouring plots, climbing up it with the cattle fence. Like just those, I'm on about, the half rounds. Yeah. It couldn't climb on anything like that because it was a good 2 foot up before it started. But it was just that idea of having it like just sectioned off. But I haven't done that on the other two plots, and the reason is because of the hedgehogs, like you said, Kerry. Like, I don't want to, and there's no need to really to fence it off. But I always think if I did put a fence all the way across, I wouldn't want the hedgehogs and all, because there's quite a few on my plot now and on our site. I wouldn't want them to be like locked in or locked out sort of thing. So,
and there are other ways to create that kind of screening. I mean, we're not allowed to have trees. I think in the rules it says within 3 meters of the boundary, which is a lot, but not many people take much notice of that. But you can use other things like Jerusalem
artichokes.
Oh God, you and them. Are you taking them with you, Kerry?
Well, I was telling Maya this week that it's not really an issue that I'm leaving a load of Jerusalem artichokes for the next person, because they were in that really floody area of the plot. I've got like 3 that have grown this year. So although I have dozens.
That's really kind of you, Kerry, to leave Jerusalem artichokes for your new. I hope they don't know that you had that plot before. because they'd be like, "Oh, lefties, Jerusalem artichoke."
No.
Are they the ones that spread?
Don't forget, there's also that horseradish in there.
Oh, that as well. Yeah. That's the only thing, isn't it, about leaving things as well. Are you going to feel sad though? Are you going to feel sad on the last day of, or are you looking forward to? Because we talked about, didn't we, about the sentimental side of it.
Yeah, and I think you were absolutely right. Like, you can't let.
Whoa! Did you hear that, Mayu?
Oh God.
Did you hear that? Then?
No, you froze there, Dennis. Sorry.
Yeah. But I think, that you can't hold on to a plot for sentimental reasons. There were reasons that I would hold on to it. The fact that Mark has the plot next door to mine, that I can see my mom over the fence and things like that. They were nice things. But I think when you're offered something that is such an upgrade from the one that you've got, you'd be a bit mad to say no. But yeah, I am a bit of, the person who comes on afterwards would be like, this newbie gardener who came in and put Jerusalem artichokes in the ground and horseradish and comfrey. And not
comfrey. I was wanting to ask you, are you taking comfrey with you as well?
Oh, they're gonna love you, Kerry. Honestly, you've left all the things they don't want.
Oh no, comfrey would be good now. The rest of it, yeah.
Yeah, but it isn't the bocking comfrey, it is the spready comfrey.
Side note though, Kerry, if can you check your Instagram, Kerry? Just thought I'd say, because I've sent you a message on there. It's only because you need to be.
No, I'm right here.
Oh God, it's about Kerry. Claire, did I say Kerry? Kerry, did I say you? No, Kerry, it's not you. Claire, check your Instagram. Claire.
You did say me, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
God, you're on my mind all the time, Kerry. So I just think. If people are, because this is the time of year now as well, where people will be taking on new plots, and then you'll always get the other people then in spring who will inquire about taking on a plot. But I think you've taken on the plot at the right time now. You could have just hung on to that one just because of Mark, and I remember that was the reason why I didn't want to leave as well, because I had a Mark and I had friends down there as well down the bottom, and it's really, really weird now because it's quiet down there. Not because I'm down there, but I mean, it's quiet down there. Like I went down there today to visit Lisa on plot 1, and I looked up and I thought, this literally like nobody here, like nobody chatting and stuff. But sometimes you want to stay because of the little, the little clique and the little gang that you've got and all. And I don't really see as many people now as I used to. Where I am now, the gardeners are, maybe different times to me or whatever, but I'm hoping that the plot in between my new plot and my fig and olive plot, that one there, I'm hoping by spring I'm going to have some new neighbours, and I'm hoping that they're going to be, you're always worried, and you always think, I hope they're passionate gardeners, I hope they're going to be sharers, because that they're always the best things that, to have is someone who's like-minded. You don't want people on there that's just going to, like, it looks awful now. It looks awful in between that little here because it's just getting weedy, and people they think that's my part of the plot as well. So I mean, they do seem to think that that's all mine. It's like, no, that part. It's just because they've, people give up their plots, don't they, after time, and they realise we're suckers. We are, Kerry. That's what it is. We just keep battling through every year, and we're like, why haven't we got no money? Why haven't we got no? Why haven't we got no life? Because we got a YouTube channel and and a full-time YouTube channel job. But I wouldn't change it any other way. But you was a little bit sneaky though, wasn't you, Kerry? Were you a little goodbye thing? I did the same thing though. So I did do but my
thing.
It's a perspective. I mean, you are saying goodbye to that plot, and it should be marked as well, because otherwise, because I remember someone switching back onto mine, because that happens as well. Some people either they want to watch new channels or they don't watch through certain seasons. Like we all know that the views dip in summer a bit because they got holidays and they're doing all their own things, and then they come back in autumn. And I remember people were like, "Whoa, where are you? Like, how are you on this plot?" I'm like, you need to go back about 3 months. And so I had to send him a link then of what was happening. But Yeah, I think you'll be all right, Kerry. I think I'm looking forward to having a good old look. Make sure you don't be waffling on in the greenhouse for 30 minutes and then show us at the end. I want a full 45 minutes. I never thought I'd say this of that plot. I want soil samples. I want to know the lot. I want to see inside the greenhouse, the polytunnel. That's what we want to see. I don't want to see you sat there with your mug going, well, we'll pop to the pot after this. Dory! Hang on. Sorry about this. Dory's like there hanging on, and you're in the greenhouse and you're talking, and then I think, come on, tell me, I want to see what I'm saying. That is what happens over there. Dory, and you're like, it's like you've got a toddler. That dog is a toddler.
You have proven that you watch my videos, Danny.
I only taunt you when I just say like, oh, when I
thought you were going to bring up Mayu's 40-minute, 50-minute video this week.
I watched it all. I say, do you know? I thought before the live, I always go on just to make sure there's not a newer video. And I clicked it. And I thought, oh my god, there we go. And Mayu, you was doing.
Sorry, man, I don't know why I'm throwing you in the.
But there was so much in it, though, Danny. And I actually want to say, do you know the way you said, like, you're all by yourself, you're nobody chat? Your videos have gotten longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you know what it is, though? Do you know why it is? I don't want them to be longer. I had to tell Kerry off for it, and then I say, Kerry, this video is so long. Wait till you see this week's video, honestly. And do you know what it is? It's because I am doing so much now because I've got the plots, and I'm trying. And the worst thing is, I did a 40-minute video, and then I thought I'll put it out on Wednesday as well because I had so much to do. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I'm trying. I keep saying every week. In the winter, you do want them to go down a bit, because, you kind of want them to be. There's not much for you to film in the winter. Like Kerry, if your plot's all done, what are you gonna record? All through winter.
I'm gonna stand in my greenhouse. I'm gonna have my dog, cup of tea, and just chat away.
It's the way you'd hold the mug as well. You'd really embrace it like this. Wow.
Cold out there now.
Yeah. And but yeah, so I am very observant of you. But I mean, when I quickly went on to yours, Mayu, I thought, oh God, this is a long one. This is for Mayu, and you was going on, but you was doing.
But
the same
also, it's 2 week, but it wasn't every week though, Danny. That's over 2 weeks. Because I didn't do any gardening during the previous weekend, so I think I got just an extra day in during the bank holiday week or something. So that just made it a little bit longer. But no, it just is what it is. It's just literally going to show if I've actually gardened. Do you know?
Yeah. Yes. But you are doing it. Weirdly, you're doing the same thing that I was doing as well. So I was putting all my foliage into an empty bed, and I was. Filling it up, but I had to really stamp on my Mayo because when you fill it up and you think, oh, it's full, and then you come back then a couple of days later and it's like that is really it don't take long to go back down, but So
I didn't want to I didn't expect to fill them. I just thought because I could still put them through the chipper. If I think look, there's too much of it there, just take it out bit by bit, run it through a chipper. And put them back into the beds that way. But it was mostly just to even use it like that throughout the winter season because I'm not going to be planting anything there during the winter. They are going to stay as that until spring now, early summer.
My worry, Mayu, is, this is my only worry about it, is what if a hedgehog or something gets in and then he can't get out?
They won't be able to get in there. Yeah, they won't be able to climb.
Well, I hope not. Or one of your chickens, do you know what I mean? I did like it this week.
They hop in and out, yeah.
Yeah, the chicken was right in front of the screen. He was taking full full screen. Marvelous Gardener said, I want your videos to be longer. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. We'd love that. But this Kerry, Mayu, AD, you know this. You pop a
Danny
video
hates it.
No, you'll pop a video up for 18 minutes, right? And they'll watch 9 minutes of it. So you think, right, I'll do a video for 9 minutes because they'll watch it all. And then they'll watch 4. and then you think, right, this is not working. Kerry, is this what happens? Is what
Yeah,
happens, isn't it?
it's always, yeah.
So you would think that, and I would love it if everyone, if you watch the 30 minutes, a lot of people don't. And, you know, you have got the ones who will watch you religiously all the way through, and they're the ones that are really champion your channel, and they're the ones that we love the most, because they're the ones not. And believe it or not, when people do watch your videos, I've explained this before on the lives, is that a lot of people don't realize that when they, even though they think our part's boring, that's fine, because we do need to know if it's boring, and our analytics do tell us when people skip. But if they skip, it really do damage your video, and then you don't get as many views, and it doesn't get pushed to further along. So I think sometimes, because I mean, you do know those people, because sometimes your video is like 30 minutes long, and it's live, it's just come out, and after about like 70 minutes, they'll ask a question which was in there, or they'll say, great video, loved it. And I'm thinking, how could you have watched all 30 minutes in 17 minutes? Because it's clearly not finished. But
I often, though, have to comment because I've seen something and I want to remember to say it. Like for Maze today, I was commenting several times as I was watching the video. So I think that does happen as well.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, you will always have the people who will love you whatever you post. Do you know what I mean?
They're the people we do the videos for, Danny.
And they're the
people
doing
yours for.
Well, I don't know. Kerry, to pay me to watch hers, to be honest. I've actually got used to them now, Kerry. It was only because I used to be so... I didn't have as much time before, and I do now. I got more time. So I thought, oh, well, I'm all right now. And I've moved you into a better time for me. You know, like when I'm in the polytunnel, I have you on now. And I mean, I can carry on doing what I'm doing because, you know, I'll do something for 20 minutes and I'll come back and you're still there like this.
I do prefer that because you once told me that you watch my videos in the bath.
Yeah.
I think I'm happier with the
only other time is the only other time I had free. But that happens to me sometimes as well, though, because Gemma used to watch me in the bath or when she's ironing. That's the only time she has free, so she watches me when she irons. So, but yeah, if you are watching our channels, I know you probably think, oh God, you know, he's going to do a time lapse now for like a minute or whatever. Just try and watch it because it really do. It really do bump those analytics a bit, don't they? Especially the start, you know. But you know, if they don't like what you're making, then they don't like. You can't force anyone, can you? But yeah. But like you said, we'd love to make bigger videos. But then my thing with Kerry was, I wasn't telling you not to do it. I was just saying, like, is it worth doing that many minutes if they're not watching? Because then you could be using that time to do something else. You know, I was looking at in that type of thing. But
yeah, I like doing the longer videos, I think, because I like crafting a story in the videos.
And I love a story, I do.
But when you were saying earlier, like, it takes 6 hours to edit that video. I mean, I wish my videos took 6 hours to edit. It is like, you know, I've got a weekend job on top of my full-time job for doing the editing of like a 50-minute video.
I got a certain routine now that does, you know, that does kind of get me a little bit of time now. Yeah, it gives me some time. I can do it a bit quicker. But I'm going to ask you all now, please watch the start of my video all the way through this week because I spent forever making this. It's one of those ones, you know, those feel-good little walking down the path, zooming in on the boots, leaves. It's one of them, you know.
Oh, Lord.
Honestly, it's one of them. I've said this now. I'll watch it now. It'll dip like that because I'm only joking. Don't watch it all the way through, please. Christmas is coming and everything, you know. This is the last, you know, last chance. Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Oh, before we log off, whatever, anyone's got a YouTube channel, make sure you put it in the chat now. I can't believe it's been an hour and a half already, but it's the same thing. But Dora, thank you so much. Dora is very much a Dora video. It is very much the start of a Dora. So, yeah. So, and believe it or not, Dora's quite a new person. I do love Dora's channel as well because she encourages. I used to do these Dora type of videos a lot. And then I stopped doing them. And then I thought, why did I stop doing them? Because I did enjoy that type of thing, you know. And I actually
told all of us don't do videos like that.
Well, I gotta tell you that competition, isn't it? Especially, you know what I mean? That's where I do it really know. But I do enjoy that type of stuff. I like the editing and all, but I actually pick the music before I even film the video sometimes, and I listen to the music, and I'm writing down, right, walk down the path, take the shot of the sky. You won't believe the stuff that I do just for a video, but yeah. I'm glad that everyone's been putting the YouTube in capitals. If you're watching this as a replay, go and have a look at the channels that are in the chat. Obviously, the same for AD's, Mayu's, Kerry's, Linda's, Claire from Farmyard Garden, and who else was moderating? Jane Kelly as well. So I don't know if Jane Kelly's Hiya, Claire. To be honest, I seen you in the background. I thought, what's she doing?
Typing.
Oh, I'm
on
a
the chat
trickster.
on my phone.
Oh, you're really caught out there, Claire.
I know.
I know. I've got my pajamas on. So.
Oh, you look like a right little. You look like a right little nana there now.
I know. I've had a cap on all day. And
Yeah. Thank you both for moderating
Thanks
anyway.
for
And I don't know where
You're very
Jane's
welcome.
gone. I don't actually know where Jane. Oh, hang on.
Dexter.
I don't know where.
I've just.
That was you. That was you. Jane's had to go. The curtain rail has fallen down. Okay, Jane. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Hopefully,
last week,
what's that?
That's because she had the curtain overhead last week.
That's what it is. She's still got the curtains down. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And hopefully next week it'll be a bit more interactive with the pictures. Kerry, I'm glad that we got to show you a plot, but I do apologise. AD, thank you so much for coming on. I know it's a bit overwhelming with Kerry. She don't shut up, does she? Do you know what I mean?
You kept asking me questions.
What?
You kept asking me questions.
I know. I did feel like this week we wanted to highlight your new plot because it's exciting for you, innit? Do you know what I mean? Hopefully AD, Kerry and Mayo, hopefully Claire and Linda's a given, but hopefully you can come on to the Christmas special, which ain't going to be long now, is it?
No. When do we get the Christmas trees up?
I know.
I've seen several.
I know.
Well, Kerry, you've got, I want to see the Christmas tree again this year in the background.
Well, it's the same tree. I've had it in the garden all year. I'm hoping it's still alive. I repotted
Might
it.
not be.
Well, I repotted it like a couple of months ago and it looked okay. I think I should, move it. It's a bit shaded. I don't want like one side to be brown.
Right, now we better say goodbye to everyone then. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming on and watching tonight and bearing through the tech issues. Thank you so much, Claire, Linda, and Jane.
My hand looks big on the iPad.
I know. Thank you all for moderating. Thank you, Mayu. Thank you, Kerry and AD, for coming on and putting up with me anyway.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all again next week at 7.